Alright, first off, got a little bit of a wind warning. Might be some wind in this video, just a heads up. I can only record for 10 minutes, so I have to break these videos up a little bit. I left off at kind of a weird point, claiming that there's a little bit of gatekeeping going on with the footprint insoles and everything. Because just for example, I grew up right down the street from Aaron Homoki, the flagship. I skated with him. He's maybe their best salesman. He's their best spokesman as well. Just because that is the definition of why you use that product, is to do massive drops, right? I remember seeing their insoles and stuff, but yeah, the availability thing. It's odd. If you're like me and you've been targeted your entire life, you don't have an actual address that you've been working with, so you have all kinds of other problems. And the address one is one of the hardest ones to nail down. So if your address constantly changes, obviously that's the problem in your life, which is mine. So I don't do the mail order thing. That is privileged as far as I'm concerned. And for people to go out and be like, oh, white privilege this, white privilege that, and then I'm even targeted, I believe, because I'm quote unquote white privileged. Yet I don't have any of the white privileges, man. I've hardly lived at an address for longer than a year. The only address I've lived at for longer than 1 year was 3 years, and it was the worst. Of all the places to live in for 3 years, it was the last one I wanted to do that in. But because I'd never been anywhere longer than a year, I was all over re-signing the lease 2 more times to make it 3 years, right? Well, so not to jump off topic, but so without having that comfort, I'm not down for mail order, which means I'm never going to get the footprint insole. So there's your example of gatekeeping and skateboarding. Even I get so far off topic, I can't tie it back. I feel like I've lost the audience as well. But because my attention span is there, but the public is not, because I don't want to dive into politics, but we had a president get shot on stage on live television, and people are practically forgetting about it. So that's just an example of the amount of stress that I have in my life, because the attention span of people that are older and bigger than me, worth more money than me, don't have the attention span to remember the important details and to maintain, a decent media industry, right? Because I'm just going to include everybody. I don't care who you are. All those old people running the media, they got that running so crooked. So not political. Gatekeeping and skateboarding, not able to get a hold of those insoles. We got to tie this back into the Tim Pool gifted hater argument, right? So I was mentioning how I've worked on $1 million homes and how the customers will ask for ridiculous details. And I'm talking like stupid stuff. So you'll be walking through $1 million home, working, just doing things the way you think. So let's just say that the guys at the skate park where Tim Pool was trying to go and join up with him and skate. Let's keep this related. Let's say that I gotta get out of the wind. Let's say that Tim Pool is the homeowner, and that the skateboarders at the DIY park, even though that's their DIY park, it's public. It's a public thing. That's what sucks. You can't take a street spot and act like you run that street spot. If it's a street spot, it's a street spot. You gotta be open. If the owner shows up, you have to let the owner run the show. It's not your spot. I mean, who cares who you think you have permission with? You might not know you're staring at the owner when they walk up and try to use the place with you. So, as a message to the dudes that kind of bashed on Tim Pool, I don't know how it got started, so don't put this on me, but if they were at all sending flack just because he's got big pockets, if that's really what this is about, this is on the skateboarders. So I'm going to step up and say this. This is on the skateboarders at the DIY park. Because if it's not your land and you're just using it on an agreement and you think you know everybody, man, you don't know everybody. Wait until somebody you don't know walks up and bam, you don't know everybody. This guy could, he could be BlackRock. Tim Pool could be BlackRock. He could be the guy that owns BlackRock. He could be the guy that owns BlackRock. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. You just don't know until you meet these people. And I've driven for Lyft. I've worked for $1 million customers. That I can tell you right off the bat. I'm a targeted individual. I get messed with on an hourly basis. You can run through my channel. Everything's legit. This is how society works. This is some real answers. So I hate to go. I'm gonna go against Gifted Hater. Gifted Hater, you're gonna have to come and tear my whole channel apart. I'm gonna put that on Gifted Hater. You wanna get into some ish? Dive into my channel and you'll end up on a list with me. So Gifted Hater is so smart. Oh my gosh. Because he was the one that compared free thinking and skateboarding to getting on an FBI watch list. Bam! Bam! Ding, 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 ding. Big brains. Gifted Hater. Daddy of social media skateboarding. Boom! Right there. That's the... Listen up to Gifted Hater. The only thing I'm going to pin Gifted Hater on is for maybe having this twisted slightly wrong. Because this is going to be on the skateboarders at the DIY park. Unfortunately, Tim Pool's got big pockets, and you know, that's the way it is. Because when you go to a customer's house and they're telling you that they want you to wear these little foot socks on your shoes, that's you will lose your job if you don't get them. And it's like, it's one of these things. How do they, you're like, we don't do this at any other house. How do they know to say this? Why do they know to be so clean? You're annoyed by the fact that they don't want any of your grime in their house. You're like, oh, and it's, but you have to honor it because they're asking you to do it. And where else are you going to work? Where else are you going to skate? It's your DIY park, and who knows? Like, if the person, whatever you're being asked, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard the weirdest things asked on a job that has nothing to do with the job and like what you typically get paid for, but yet you're doing this job, working with this customer, you got to do this. If you're on land, it's a DIY and you don't own it. That's the bottom line. That's it right there. Bottom line. Tim Pool he's either, whatever move he makes after that is good. That's a Tim Pool move. He's got the pockets for it. Yeah, you can't. That's it, babe. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry, Gifted Hater. But your hate is just entertainment in that situation. Boo! I got to do my own sound effects because I'm a homeless guy who doesn't have a computer to sit at and edit everything. Well, hopefully this video is still going. Yeah, we're still going. Oh no, that's a brand new edit.